It's just been a month since I started my YouTube channel, and I already feel like it's been the best decision I have ever made in my life. I enjoy every process of creating videos on YouTube. I love the writing, the editing, thumbnail creation, and finally when I upload the videos, all the reactions I get and the positive feedback I get from random strangers. The happiness lasts for a long time and it is so wonderful, but then I also feel a tinge of regret. Why did I not start this sooner? What would have happened if I started this 10 years ago? Would I have 1 million subscribers by now? Why did I not build a business around this rather than stay in my corporate job which I don't like? All these thoughts keep coming up from time to time because I love YouTube so much. And whenever I start thinking about regret, I need a framework to ground myself. And I keep coming back to this one speech I have listened to by Steve Jobs at Stanford. There's a moment in that speech where he goes, "You cannot connect the dots looking forward. You have to connect them looking backwards. And you have to trust the dots will somehow connect back in the future."
It was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later. Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart even when it leads you off the well-worn path, and that will make all the difference.
This is so powerful. It applies to all the regrets I've been having around not starting YouTube earlier. Let's break that down into two parts. You cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. What Steve Jobs means here is that you are exactly where you are meant to be. I started this YouTube channel 10 years after my corporate life because I wasn't ready back then. The 10 years of corporate life was needed to get me to a place financially and also emotionally where I could take the jump. 10 years has given me the financial security to pursue these hobbies. Some of them were very expensive. Also the skills I learned in my corporate job like editing and all the technologies I use for YouTube, they've all transferred. So regret around not starting this earlier doesn't make any sense if I think through Steve Jobs' framework. And also YouTube and corporate life are similar in so many ways. In corporate America, you do need a customer base. You do need to add value to that customer base, and you have to keep growing the customer base to get you revenue and profits. In the YouTube world, it's very similar. You need a user base. To find that user base, you have to develop a niche, and you hopefully keep growing the user base over and over in the years to come. All the knowledge and the frameworks and technologies I use is not wasteful at all. And I learned so much from corporate America about how to communicate my ideas, how to talk to users, and all of these skills are completely transferable, so there is no need for regret. The second part of Steve Jobs' quote is that you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in the future. And this is where I have two ideas. One is around personal faith, and one is the confidence I've gained from all the personal experiences I've had. So let's talk about the personal faith first. So Hinduism teaches you that everything is meant to be and your life is entirely dictated by your karma and dharma, which in simple terms means that if you live a good life and do things for a good moral reason, then you have to trust that God will take care of the rest. When you do the right moral thing, somehow things just fall in place. And this is also backed by works of philosophy like Carl Jung. I read his Synchronicity book recently, and he talks about how events between people and the interactions we have are not just random. They are a divine order, and a lot of the things are connected beyond the laws of cause and effect. I understand this conflicts with some of the scientific reasoning we have been taught since we were young. For example, I was told for a long time that all the decisions I made needed to be data driven and they needed to be based on some proof that it would work. I have learned that I have no historical precedent for starting a YouTube channel if I look at the world from that prism. Very few people who are 1 month into YouTube have been successful. There is very little data for that, and I don't know if I'm going to be successful because I don't have the skills required for YouTube yet. Just from the scientific perspective, I don't think YouTube makes any sense. Even if you think about it from a financial perspective, just from YouTube, it's hard to make a lot of money. But if I do trust that things will fall into place, and if I do the right moral thing and God will take care of me, that gives me so much confidence and also peace of mind. I also think through all the experiences I've had in my 20s over the last 10 years. So the marathons I've done, the boxing, the triathlons, the mountain climbing, all of them are extremely hard events. And I did not go into them thinking I'll be successful in the future. The same thing would be true for YouTube. If I have had success doing these extremely hard things in the past, why would I not have success doing this extremely hard thing again in the future? So each one of us has that in us. We have done hard things or have gone through hard experiences. And just remembering that gives us so much confidence in pushing forward and doing another hard thing. So I honestly don't know where my YouTube channel is going to go. I just want to be useful and talk about my technology career and whatever I've learned and whatever I'm still learning. But a lot of times when I have this like regrets of either not having started it earlier or like fear of where my channel is going or what am I doing, whether this is a good idea, I try to think of Steve Jobs' speech and it somehow gives me a peace and calm. Again, you have to connect the dots looking backwards. And you have to be grateful for everything which has happened in your life, which has led you to this point. You are exactly where you are meant to be. And you have to trust through either your personal faith, your personal experiences, or whatever frameworks you have to ground you, that you have to trust that things will fall in place for the future. Thank you for listening. See you soon.